Sean Ebert is the Executive Director of AML3D, an industrial 3D innovator in the space, and it's tucked away in the Adelaide suburb of Edinburgh Parks. That's down the road from Osborne Naval Shipyard, home to not just the massive Aussie submarine project, but also the $35 billion Hunter-class frigate program. Given Edinburgh Park also hosts defence contractors such as BAE Systems, Airbus Group Australia, and Lockheed Martin, $21 million AML3D could just be seen as the cheapest house in a posh neighbourhood. Sean joins us live from Adelaide to discuss future plans for the company. Afternoon, Sean. Thanks for coming and joining us here on Ausbiz. We haven't actually spoken to you since you did the IPO, so why don't you just take our viewers through a little bit about what your company does?
A little bit about AML3D. So we're a disruptor to traditional manufacturing. So we're a wire arc additive manufacturing process, and what we do is we create 3D additive metal parts for industries such as aerospace, defence, marine, and the resources sector.
So from the side of defence, we've seen recently Australia plans on spending in excess of another $80 billion to their existing budget over a 10-year window. How does AML3D get even a small piece of this? That would be a huge impact for a company like yours.
Yeah, look, this is a really good question. This is a really exciting opportunity for us because, well, first of all, we're establishing a presence in Singapore, and as a part of that defence strategy, which is a 10-year strategy, in particular it's focused on the Indo-Pacific region, we're building out a presence in Singapore, and that gives us sovereign capability to participate in that sector as it grows. The second thing is with our technology specifically produces high tensile parts, and it produces it stronger and faster than traditional methods. And in fact, we're actually working for a couple of defence clients, and we're going through the testing phase in producing parts for them. But I think the most exciting thing is, one of the things that was announced was the security of the supply chain. So we're seeing a lot of European and foreign companies and manufacturers move into the defence market into Australia. What it gives us is we can enable that secure supply chain to produce parts internationally and then transfer that into Australia to give Australia that domestic production capability for the defence market.
Has the supply chain disruption from COVID really strengthened that business case to have locations in as many places as possible? You've opened up this extra Singapore ability. You're looking to do the same even more so here in Australia. Is that the way that you'll be playing this strategy?
Yeah, well, what we've seen is since COVID, it seems to have really accelerated the demand for manufacturers to de-risk their supply chain. In other words, to enable this distributed manufacturing technology, which we have, to produce as close as you can to where the manufacturers need the parts produced. The great thing about it is it really disrupts things like and changes the game for things like having to transport, customs clear, pay tariffs and taxes to get it into the country. It really streamlines that, and it gives the customer more so security of supply and control over that network.
Now, is there a situation where Australia could change its rules, put a sanction on, and stop a company like AML3D from supplying another country in national interests? Given we're in such uncertain times at the moment, is there a risk from your side, from a company's strategy, that this sort of outcome could actually take place?
Not particularly, because what we do is we've got two different models. We've got a contract manufacturing where we're a preferred contractor for manufacturing of parts. We can produce that anywhere in the world, but if the client wants to insource that technology, bring it in-house and produce that themselves, we can enable that. And in fact, we've just completed our first delivery of an AML3D metal printing system into Singapore for a client called ST Engineering, which is a large listed company. They operate across defence, aerospace and marine quite actively, and we've just installed that over in Singapore to give them the enablement to produce themselves domestically.
Right, so that's from a defensive side. That's very much one part of the business. But where are the exciting developments outside of defence? Where do you see the strategy 5 years from now outside of defence opportunities?
Well, really, what we've seen has been quite amazing. I mean, it's only been 3 months since we've listed, but there's been a huge amount of attention given to us since we've listed. And we've seen a lot of industrial players across all the sectors. It's aerospace, marine, oil and gas, resources. that are all looking to eagerly adopt this technology. And more broadly, what we saw when you reflect back on the third revolution of industry, which is the automation, we're now in Industry 4.0. And Industry 4.0 is now about making the equipment smarter, making machines smarter and enabling them to do more than what they were able to do before. So where we see it in 3 to 5 years, it'll become commonplace. It'll become just the norm and another part of just how manufacturers perform. What's really driving it, though, is manufacturing efficiencies. All these industry players are looking for the next evolution of manufacturing efficiencies. That's actually the key.
Well, Sean, it's been a pleasure having you join us on Ausbiz again. We look forward to hearing about future developments with the company soon.
Thank you very much for your time. Thanks.